course of the next minute or so. So it is going to slow down just a little bit here as he approaches the Gliselle Park area here. So southbound side of the 2 freeway, you already see him slowing down. This slowdown is because there is a CHP unit with 2 vehicles pulled. Okay, getting off on Verdugo. Okay. Okay, 3150. Yeah, sorry about that. We are having to stay a little bit lower because there is a CHP airplane that has been following this pursuit along the 210 freeway, and he needs to be a little bit lower, so that's going to force us down just a little bit here. So sorry for that signal issue there, but we just got off the freeway right here at Verdugo. So southbound side of the 2 freeway, exiting at Verdugo. He made the left, so of course for you, those of you who know the area, that's going to put you right near Eagle Rock Boulevard here, and it looks like he's going to change lanes and make his way off to the right. So off to the right, and so we are going to be southbound along the boulevard here and over towards the on and off ramps for the 2 freeway here near San Fernando Road here. So again, we are being pursued. This guy is being pursued by the California Highway Patrol now on surface streets. We do understand that, again, he is going to be heading back to his residence, which is not too far from this location. We're not going to give you that address here, but we understand it is not too far from here. And what he decides to do at that point, we just don't know. Hopefully he will give up in a peaceful manner. But at that point, we will know for sure. But now we are going to be crossing, I believe this is going to be Avenue 26, which puts you through Gliselle Park over in towards, another part of Gliselle Park and Silver Lake here. So, okay, here we go. Okay, we're going to be right on the kind of the south side of the Forest Lawn Cemetery here. So, yeah, it looks like, in fact, based on what we are seeing, he is heading towards the stated address that was supposed to be his residence here. So, kind of a windy street here, a narrow, windy residential street, and we are going to know just over the course of the next maybe few seconds or so whether or not he stops, because we are approaching the given address that he gave to the authorities, and in that telling them that he was going to be giving up at that point or going to that address at the very least. So here we go, again on a windy street here just on the south side of Forest Lawn, Glendale, and he is pulling over. And we are going to stay on a medium shot because we don't know what's going to happen here. We just don't know. So if this is something that turns into something that we don't want to air, we're just going to pull the shot out. But at this point, he has stopped. And not making any efforts at this point to move or to come out of that pickup truck. You can see the California Highway Patrol in very close proximity with guns drawn. We imagine that northeast units of the LAPD might eventually show up for this situation as well. We are just on the south side, again, of Forest Lawn, Glendale. There goes the driver door. The driver door now opening here, and we certainly hope that this guy does the right thing and gives up in a peaceful manner here. We don't know about any additional occupants of the vehicle here. We do have a resident on the right side, a couple of residents on the right side, it appears, that are coming out to have a look and see what's going on. But that driver door is open, and hopefully this guy is preparing to come out peacefully. We will see over the course of the next couple of minutes here. We do have three units of the CHP that are right behind him and are no doubt ordering him to comply with their commands to come out of the vehicle peacefully. They want to see his arms. They want to make sure that he doesn't have a weapon. They want to make sure that he comes out nice and slowly and gives himself up in the most peaceful manner possible here. We don't know about any occupants in the car. We don't know, many things to this point. But, again, we certainly hope that they will be able to contain this and that this guy gives up peacefully. Okay, I got the address. You know, we did hear one thing, and I'm not going to disclose that at this point, given its nature here. So we did hear one thing, and I'm not going to disclose it. We did hear that from the CHP air unit overhead, and that was something that was a little bit disturbing, so we're not going to give that up at this point. So we do know that was cause for them to give chase to this guy, enough reason for them to try and pursue this guy and get this guy to come in peacefully here. But, again, without any direct confirmation, we just can't speculate at this point here, but we can tell you that it looks like the CHP unit is kind of gathering around behind him, and it looks like at some point they are hoping that this guy comes out peacefully here. Are they going to make an approach? It certainly looks like it here. We have a couple of officers making an approach to that driver door here, and this is an area of some vulnerability for law enforcement officers, and there he goes. Okay, well, not giving up here. He is just taken to the gas pedal, and now he is now further down the street. And now the CHP, hang on, just, okay, hang on just a moment here. We have an LAPD officer, an LAPD airship that is now coming into the scene here, and they're making their announcement that they need us to climb a little bit here. So again, we are making our way through the Glacel Park area, and now we are going to be coming through the neighborhood. Now he does have an option. He does have an option to stay in the neighborhood. If not, he can head back over towards Fletcher Drive, but it looks like he's going to go deeper into the neighborhood here, and we'll see exactly what he does here. There are turns that you can make here that will actually kind of get you stuck in the neighborhood here. In other words, dead-end streets, but we'll see what he chooses to do here. As you can see just on the upper side of the screen, that's going to be Forest Lawn Glendale. Forest Lawn Glendale, the back side of it, in other words, the south side of it that he is now traversing uphill towards. And again, this guy, you just saw him take off as he was being approached by officers here, so let's see what he chooses to do here. But no word on kind of what is on his mind here. But with a certain amount of desperation, who knows what is possible here. This guy just doing everything he can to avoid being taken into custody here. You saw he had a chance to give up peacefully, and we were thinking that might be the case. But we are back on the original street that he was parked on. However, it looks like he's come in from the other side. Don't know if he okay, it looks like he's coming face-to-face or head-on with somebody here. That person probably an innocent bystander. We just don't know, but that person, that bystander, is just kind of leaving his truck right there. And, okay, let's see what he does. Let's see what he does. LAPD airship flying right through your shot there, so just a lot of fluid activity here. This guy wants to come through, but that guy in the truck not letting him through, and in fact backing away from his truck, and that might force this guy into a situation where he might have to back up or flee on foot. So let's see over the course of the next few seconds here what exactly happens as this guy is forced to make some desperate decisions here. So he makes his way around the truck. There you go, makes his way around the truck, and now he's just coming up on that address that we previously stopped at, but coming in from the other side here. Now those CHP units, I believe, have already left that particular scene. Yeah, they sure have, and because they went in pursuit of this guy as soon as he took off. So now he's going to be making his way back down towards the boulevard here, and we'll see what he does. It turns out that, as he kind of went to his residence here, okay, he's going to be coming up head-on with what looks like either a CHP or an LAPD unit here. Okay, let's see what he does. Oh boy. Okay, standoff. Here we go. Let's see what happens. CHP unit drives right by him. So another encounter there, a potentially dangerous one at that, but that CHP unit just kind of pulled over here. There is that green truck. That green truck that was head-to-head with him is now following him. So maybe it is someone, potentially a friend, a family member here that is trying to get this guy to stop here, because this was the guy who had gone face-to-face with this guy, and sure enough, this guy is trying to intervene. That guy in the green truck is trying to intervene with this pursuit suspect here, and he is the one who, in fact, at this point, is in close proximity to this guy. We are now on Fletcher Drive, and we'll be making our approach towards San Fernando Road here in a matter of about 30 seconds to 45 seconds. But okay, he's going to stay in the neighborhood. He makes that right-hand turn, and again is being followed presumably by a friend or perhaps a family member who is trying to get this guy to stop. Okay, no problem. Okay, Adam. Going back up to the residence. Back to the house. Back to the house, guys. I can't tell. It is, as far as we can tell, and it looks like he's making his way downstairs. We were wondering what he was carrying in his hand, but it looks like it was a mobile phone, a cell phone here, but it looks like he came out of the vehicle here, went through the front gate of the house, and now downstairs. So he is actually making his way into the house at this point here. Now, no units directly outside of the house here as of yet, perhaps in an effort to diffuse the situation a little bit, since they likely know who this person is. But there's that green truck here. That green truck, it looks like a Reuter truck. So at any rate, that green truck is now outside the residence here. We don't have any law enforcement units directly outside of the home at this point. Again, perhaps in a situation to diffuse the situation, we do have a helicopter overhead, and of course CHP still overhead as well. But again, we certainly hope that this is a situation where this guy can give up peacefully here. It looks like a friend or a family member was trying to intervene and get this guy to comply peacefully here. But again, we will know hopefully over the course of the next several minutes what exactly transpired as we saw this guy exit his truck, again, right outside that residence here, come through the gate and go outside. Guys? Five's going to be north just a touch. Four, I got you. Okay. Okay, I will. Okay, LAPD coming up from top. First unit coming up from the top, and he will be in your shot in about 5 to 10 seconds. Yeah, you know what, Jessica, it is my understanding that CHP might be backing out of the situation here and turning this over to Northeast Division. LAPD officers are now on scene. The first cruiser just arriving just moments ago here, and they are just on the north side of that residence here. A couple of units coming in as we were just kind of talking about this here. So it is believed that the CHP is now out of it and has turned this over to Northeast Division officers who are more familiar with this area. This is their jurisdiction here, and so they will be likely handling the law enforcement angle from this point on. Now, from what we gather here, we kind of were watching our tape, and it looks like that suspect did go into perhaps an outhouse type of a building there, maybe a shed or some sort of a separate unit that we think that he might have entered here just a few moments ago, but that was the last that we saw. We don't have confirmation of that. We didn't see him go into a door or anything like that, but that was the closest structure that we saw the suspect as he came out of the car and went downstairs. But you see that green truck still there out in the street, and we do have the LAPD again on the scene as well, so hopefully they will be gathering their intelligence here and be able to make a decision as to how best to handle this situation here. We don't know the mental state of this suspect here, or in fact what he was wanted for. So let's just not speculate and treat this as a delicate situation, as the LAPD always does. But out of an abundance of caution, they are going to take every precaution that they need to bring this situation to a peaceful end. Straight avenues. I'm sure they are. Something she ducked back in, so she came out and came back in. Okay, so they think he went into the back building here. The elderly female came out but went back in. Okay. Is that a rooter, like a plumber? Yeah, okay, like a plumbing vehicle. Like. That's a blue home, right? Blue home, brown roof. The green. Yeah, if you want to come to us. Yeah, if you want to come to us, go for it. Okay, coming out, coming out, coming out, coming out, coming out. Bring it. Yeah, it certainly looks like he is well, you just saw him come out of that back building here. Rich Prickett, our Sky 5 photographer, very sharp in noticing that a few minutes ago he did enter that back house. Now, just a moment ago, you did see him coming out of that the back house there, and so we don't know if he's preparing to give up at this point. We do know that the call came out earlier today. Apparently, this subject's mother had called in to the police indicating that her son was under some emotional distress or might be under the influence here, and that's what precipitated the situation. That's what precipitated the situation where the CHP caught up to him and initiated that pursuit here. Now we are back at the residence here in Gliselle Park, and this is going to be Weldon Street right off of Fletcher, just on the kind of the southwest corner of the Glendale Forest Lawn. And there's the suspect here, and it looks like he's making his way up towards the street level. This is a subterranean home in terms of street level, where the home is actually below street level here, but he's kind of making his way back towards the steps, hopefully in preparation to give himself up to authorities here. But he's coming around the front of the house, and now there he is. He's at the bottom of the steps, and those are the steps that we saw him go down before making his way into that back house where he has been for the past several minutes here. But again, he is now just about at the top of the stairs. Let's see. He's going to back down just a little bit here. No doubt after seeing the LAPD presence up on the main street there. So he is back on the property. He had an opportunity to give up peacefully, and it certainly looked like that's what he wanted to do. But no, that has not happened. And for the second time, we've seen this guy kind of stop and go and preparing to give up and then continuing on. So don't know exactly where he has made his way into. Did he go into the house, or did he go to the side of the house there? But he might just be under the walkway. So we'll see over the course of the next couple of minutes here. Hopefully this guy, again, comes back out and gives himself up peacefully here. So we'll see, but hopefully this ends peacefully. But again, that guy, that suspect in this case, in the back house, called in earlier this morning from a person indicating that she was his mother, and this guy was under some emotional distress and possibly under the influence, guys.